Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to Proudly Muslim today. I am Zuleikho Abodurin. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today. Inshallah, today's program is divided into two segments as usual. We are going to be taking the etiquette in Islam. Today we'll be talking about the etiquette of performing ablution, and also the other segment, which is reason to believe, with Brother Saeed Dawood. And also a very big thank you to our supporters as usual, MTN and Vitain Pharmaceuticals Limited, makers of quality health products. Also, I believe that you must have dialed 787 on your MTN line by now, where you get access to MTN Islamic services with so many interesting freebies for you, and also MTN Start Pack offer, where you get 6 times the value of every single recharge that you make, plus 10 MB on MTN Deal Zone. Inshallah, now we'll move on to etiquette in Islam with Brother Abdul Hakim Qasim to do justice to the topic of ablution in Islam. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. You are welcome to Islamic Ethics, where we take the etiquette of some activities that we engage in as Muslims. Like always, inshallah, today we will be taking a look at one of those things that are very, very important to us as Muslims, and that is al-wudu, ablution. When we talk about al-wudu has to do with the purification that we do with the water before we observe salat or some other acts of ibadah. Now, al-wudu is a form of purification that cleanses what we call al-hadath, small impurities. By the time we do the ablution, we are purified and ready to observe salat, ready to recite the Quran or so many other acts of worship. So al-wudu is a prerequisite, especially for our salat, because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us about it, and Allah Himself also gave us a commandment in the glorious Quran. Allah says in Surah Al-Nisa or Surah Al-Ma'idah, Quran chapter 5 verse 6, Allah says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, oh, you believe, when you stand up, when you prepare, when you are ready to observe salat, فاغسلوا وجوهكم, wash your face. وأيديكم إلى المرافق, you should also wash your hands to the elbow. فامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين, you should also wipe your head and wash your feet to the ankle. The Prophet ﷺ also made us to understand that a salat without ablution, without purification, is not acceptable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You find this in Sahih Muslim. The implication of this is, for our salat to be valid, it means our ablution must also be valid. An invalidated ablution signifies an invalidated salat. And that is why it is very, very important for us to understand the etiquette of performing ablution, al-wudu. In doing this, one of the things we need to know is that we need to have a very pure water, clean water. Then at the same time, we should have the intention for performing ablution, because an act without intention is not rewarded. Even if you take your whole bath, you don't have, and water touches all the parts that you necessarily wash in ablution. So far the intention of performing ablution is not there, you cannot use that to perform salah. And that's why you must have the intention. And the intention is not something you say out, it is something that you have in your mind. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Innamal a'malu binniyat." All actions are judged according to intention. So to do and in preparation for this as well, it is also advised that what you brush your teeth, you use the siwak, the toothbrush or chewing stick, in order to clean your teeth. It is a sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, an emphatic sunnah like that. First said, if not for the fear that I have that I would overburden my ummah, I would have commanded them to use toothbrush upon every salat they want to perform. So this is something that we need to take note of. It is good when we use our siwak, it makes our mouth clean, it removes any form of odor before we observe salah. Then again, we should say Bismillah at the point of starting. This is in tradition of the Prophet ﷺ, who says that there is no prayer for one who does not perform wudu, and there is no wudu for one who does not mention the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I find this in Abu Dawud. So let's say Bismillah when we want to start our ablution. Then we will get the water. We wash our hands 3 times. Starting, we wash our right hand first 3 times. Then we also wash our left hand 3 times. This ensures that our hand is clean before we dip our hands inside the container. So you don't contaminate the water by dipping your hands straight without first washing your hands. So this is the first thing. So you wash your hand 3 times. You wash the right hand 3 times. You wash the left hand 3 times. Then you rinse your mouth and nose. Now what do you mean by this? You get water in your hand, or you dip your hand. Since you wash the hand, you dip inside the container, you take water in, you rinse your mouth, you gargle. Prophet ﷺ emphasized this. He said, you exaggerate your washing of your mouth and inhaling water when you're performing ablution, except when you are fasting, like when Ramadan. That is the only time, so that water will not seep into your throat. But apart from the point when you're fasting, you're expected to gargle very well to ensure that any food particle or anything, and for the fact that you even use the siwak, it also makes the whole work easy for you. So you take water with your hand into your mouth, you rinse it. The remaining water is what you now use. You sniff it in, then you use the left hand to bring it back. This is once. So you now repeat this process, the same water for your mouth and for your nose. You do that 3 times. After doing that, then you now wash your face. Ghuslul wajh. You wash your face 3 times, starting from the point where your hair stops to your chin, and from the right side of your ear to the left side of your ear. So this point, it is wrong for us to just say we want to wash our face and it does it like this, where all these parts are now will be left dry. So you use your 2 hands to do ghuslul wajh, to wash your face when you are doing that. Then you now, after doing that 3 times, you now proceed to washing your hands. Now, emphasis on hands. I didn't say arm alone, because what you find out there, that a lot of people do when they are trying to perform ablution, is that they only wash from the wrist to the elbow, and this is very, very wrong. Allah says, "Fagsilu aydiyakum ila al-marafiq." Your hand. So you start from the tip of your finger to the elbow 3 times. Disregard the fact that you have washed your hand 3 times at the beginning. That is to ensure that the hand is clean before you dip your hand inside the container. So it is important that in washing our hands, we wash 3 times, you bring it back, and ensure that your hand goes in between your fingers. Then you do that 3 times. You start from the right first, you do the right 3 times, you move over to the left, you also do the same 3 times. After this, the next thing that you do is you wipe your head. This is done once. You take water, wipe, not wash. So you don't pour water on your head, no. Just make sure your hand is wet. Pass your hand from your forehead to the back, and you return it to the front. With the same wet hand, you now use your index finger, you pass it into your ears, you use it to go through your ear cavity, and you use the thumb to rinse the outer part. So that is how to perform the ablution for the head and the ears. And ensure that upon doing that, we find a lot of people too, they try to wash the neck. The neck is not part of what you're doing. So it is to wipe the head to the back and return it to the front. This is in line with the hadith of Abdullah ibn Zayd, who narrated that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed his hands over his head, starting from the front, proceeding to the back. And he started from his forehead and passed over the top of his head and passed it to the back, to the place he started. He returned it to the place he started from. You find this in Bukhari and Muslim. So it is not washing of the neck, it is not part of the ablution. Then finally is that you now wash. That is just done once, the head and the ears once. Then you wash your legs. But this time is wash. It's not just rinse or just passing wet hand. You wash. 3 times. You do that for the right leg and you do that for the left leg. Now what we are washing actually is our foot, the right foot. You allow your hand to go through your toes, then you wash up to the ankle, because that is the instruction Allah himself gave, ila al-ka'bayn, to the ankles. Inshallah, we would stop here and we'll continue this process of ablution tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, you're welcome back. I hope you were able to learn one or two things from that very important etiquette, especially as it relates to performing ablution and then observing salah. And it's very important for us to perform ablution with the right intention so that we will get the best from our salah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make this easy for us. And now we will move on to the second segment, which is Reason to Believe, with Brother Saeed Dawood. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. You're welcome to yet another interesting episode of your favorite program, Reasons to Believe. Yes, the Reasons to Believe is a program staged to make a man rethink and find the blessing in the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for mankind. Part of which is part of those things we are going to be discussing today, and that is the rain formation. I am Saeed Dawood. When we say rain is a form of droplets that comes from this cloud. And if you look at it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in various parts of the glorious Quran, centuries before the scientists discovered the formation of rain. Rain, as said earlier, there are forms of droplets that come from the cloud. But the question is, how exactly did this rain come about? Did they just come by chance, or they have some forms that they have to go through before we see them coming out to serve as blessing to us as mankind? Part of the discovery made by science is that rain has 3 different formations, 3 different levels of its formations. The first of which is the rising of the raw materials into the air with the wind. And secondly is that the cloud forms. And the third of which is the final process is when the rain falls. And that is the one we do see most of the times. But these 2 ones that we mentioned earlier, when you see them, or how do man really notice that they could come? It is through the radar, the weather radar that the scientists invented some few years back, just to confirm what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the glorious Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it in the glorious Quran, Quran 30, that is Surah Rum, verse 48, where he stated that it is Allah who sent the winds which stirs up this cloud. And this same wind, he spreads them about the sky however it wills. It forms them into dark clumps, and you see the rain come pouring out from the middle of them. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he concluded this particular statement by saying, when he makes it fall to those of his servants he wills, they rejoice. And that is why you see that when rain falls, some set of people will definitely rejoice, while some will find it another way around. It's not that maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to punish them, but it's the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And looking at this particular verse, you will see that the scientific evidence we proved earlier conforms with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the glorious Quran. And this Quran has been revealed to mankind centuries ago, before scientific inventions of the weather radar. Now let us look at them in different levels to see how they both relate to each other. That is how science has come to bring about the magnificence of the Quran and the magnificence of the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first stage is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in that verse that it is Allah who sends the wind. If you look at it, countless of bubbles formed from the foaming of the sea, that is, the ocean, continuously burst. When you visit the bar beach, for example, you find different forms of wave coming out from the sea. This is also a great sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. you see different waves and you be marveled and say, what exactly is making this wave come into being? And that is why the wind is also a very great creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in this, we'll quickly want to look at the three different stages that the scientists mentioned as also related to us in the gross Quran by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He said, it is Allah who sent the wind. If you look at this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He sent the wind. And these countless of bubbles that are burst and come forth, and as a result the wind carries them to the sky. And don't forget, this same water are very much rich in salt. So when it carries them to the atmosphere, these particles are called the aerosols. That is AEROSOLS. These aerosols, they function as water traps, and these traps they form the cloud. When they form the cloud, they are being collected around the water vapor themselves. So these are the ways in which the water rises up to the sky. So that is the first stage. And if you look at it vividly with what the science also discovered centuries after the Quran has been revealed, you see that yes, it conforms with that. That is the first stage. Then the second stage, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also continued in that same verse, that which stirs up the clouds. That is, this cloud is spread them above the sky however it wills. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has the free will to do anything. So whatever He does, nobody can question Him. So He spreads this particular thing in order to be able to give us a form of equitable distribution of these bounties of mercy from Him. Then He forms them into dark clumps. Now, these clouds are formed from water vapor that condenses around the salt, and likewise the salt or the dust particles in the air. Because these water droplets are very, very minute in terms of looking at it in diameter stands, we say they are around 0.01 to 0.02 millimeters. And this water, the clouds are suspended in the air and spread across the sky. So this is how the second stage goes. You see that this is how the cloud is being formed, as related by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and as also confirmed by the science. So the third stage, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said in this same verse that, and you see the rain come pouring out from the middle of them. That is, the water particles that surround the salt crystals and those particles sticking to form what? The raindrop. So this raindrop is what we see at the end of the day, and we all rejoice that yes, the rain has come. This is to tell us that the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on us are boundless. So it is left to man to rethink and see how well he can conform to the wish and the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Furthermore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also informed us in the great verse of the Quran, that is Surah An-Nur, a very good surah, very, very common surah that man uses. And that is Surah An-Nur, Quran 24, verse 43 to precise, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, have you not seen how Allah drives along the cloud, then joins them together? He drives along the cloud and joins them together. When He joins them together, then makes them to become what? A stack. That is, this cloud are driven all around from one point to the other, and they come together to form a stack. And you see the rain come out of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us a question. Don't you see the rain come out of this? These are points for us to reflect. So we don't say, yes, this rain is coming from one of our gods that we do worship, or is as a result of my own power or my own will. And you see some people will also say, yes, I can make rain to fall. It is only if it stands with the conformity of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills at that moment. That is when this will happen. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said further that, and He sends down from the sky mountain masses of clouds with cold hail in them, striking with it anyone he wills and averting it from anyone he wills. The brightness of this can blind anybody. And this also has to do with the issue of the thunder. If you look at it, the way the thunder strikes will also make man to know that yes, if you can think deeply, the day of Yom Al-Qiyam is going to be a day that man would definitely find it to be a day of selfishness. For man will not in any way see how to get away from the shackles that will be happening on that day. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us away from this and save us away from the torment of that day. So this is just the little we'll be able to take for today. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it an huge for us in this life and the year after. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome back to the program Proudly Muslim. That was Reason to Believe with Brother Saeed Dawood, educating us on the formation of rain. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to increase him in knowledge. Ameen. And this is where we get to draw the curtain on today's program. Jazakumullah khairan for being a part of it. Also, a very big thank you to our sponsors, MTN and Vitain Pharmaceuticals Limited. Don't forget to dial 787 on your MTN line. It gets you access to MTN Islamic Services, where you get the Salawat reminder, beautiful Quran recitation, and prayer relays from the city of Mecca. You also get, in this glorious month of Ramadan, you get Quran recitation, you get Ramadan sermons and teachings, and so much more. You need to dial 787 to find out. And also, if you are a new subscriber on the MTN network, the MTN Start Pack offer is still very much in stock for you. You get 6 times the value of your recharge, so you don't have any excuse not to call your family and friends to say Taslim today. You know, Rasulullah said we should spread the greeting of salam everywhere we are. So it is very important for us to make ample use of this opportunity by using this credits. If you recharge 100 naira, you get 600 naira, and so when you recharge 200 naira, you also get 1200 naira. So you don't have any excuse not to call your family and friends to wish them well in this glorious month of Ramadan. May Allah make this easy for us. Till tomorrow, inshallah, when another episode of your darling program Proudly Muslim will come to you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.